Jessica and Nitesh Patel's story revolves around a tragic turn of events that led to the murder of Jessica for an insurance claim of 18 crores. This case is a stark example of how a facade of a perfect life can lead to devastation. Jessica Patel, a woman of Indian origin residing in Britain, fell in love with Nitesh Patel. After a courtship, they tied the knot. However, Jessica soon discovered a side of Nitesh she had never imagined, even in her worst nightmares. From the very first day of marriage, Jessica's life became a nightmare, culminating in an unimaginably tragic end. So what happened to Jessica? Who was the culprit? And what role did an insurance claim of 18 crores play in this horrific story? Stay with us to uncover the chilling details. You won't believe how a mobile app became instrumental in solving this case. Jessica Patel and Nitesh Patel, both of Indian origin, lived in Britain. Their story began during their pharmacy studies at a college in Britain, where Jessica met Nitesh. To Jessica, Nitesh appeared to have all the qualities she desired in a partner. He was the perfect boyfriend and her envisioned future husband. After dating for some time, Jessica and Nitesh decided to get married. They informed their families, who after initial inquiries gave their consent. In July 2009, Jessica and Nitesh were married with much pomp and celebration. A few years later, the couple moved to Linthorpe, where they started a large pharmacy business on Roman Road. Soon after, they also purchased a spacious home nearby. Their business flourished, and wealth followed. Despite their financial success, there was one void in their lives. Jessica struggled to conceive. Years went by, but she couldn't become a mother. At Nitesh's insistence, Jessica opted for IVF treatment. The first 3 attempts failed, but in a miraculous turn, the 4th attempt showed promise. On May 9, 2018, Jessica's doctor informed her that the attempt was successful, and a fertilized embryo could be implanted into her uterus the following month. Jessica was overjoyed by the news. Tragically, just days after this happy development, disaster struck. On May 14, 2018 at 8:20 p.m., Nitesh Patel made a frantic call to Britain's National Emergency Response Service, 999. Sounding extremely distressed, he reported, "It seems there has been a robbery in my house, and the intruders have attacked my wife. Her hands and feet are tied, and her body is covered in duct tape." The emergency operator immediately asked for Nitesh's address and dispatched an ambulance and a doctor to the scene. The police were also informed and rushed to the location. Nitesh was still connected to the emergency helpline, and the operator was continuously trying to calm him down while giving him instructions on what to do next. The operator said urgently, "Remove the tape from Jessica's face as quickly as you can." Following the instruction, Nitesh carefully removed the tape. "Do you see any marks on her face or neck? Is she showing any signs of movement?" the operator asked. Nitesh replied with a trembling voice, "No, there's no movement." At this moment, Nitesh suddenly cried out, his voice breaking with despair. Hearing the situation escalate, the operator realized the severity of the matter and began consoling Nitesh while staying on the line. Moments later, there was a knock at the door. An ambulance, a team of doctors, and the police had arrived. The doctors immediately began examining Jessica. After an initial check, they announced solemnly, "Jessica is no more. She had passed away." Jessica was only 34 years old. Jessica's parents and family were informed about her untimely demise. Upon seeing Jessica's parents and sisters, Nitesh broke down even more. When Jessica's sister, Mania Patel, tried to console him, Nitesh became even more emotional, burying his head on her shoulder, sobbing uncontrollably. He kept repeating through his tears, "She's gone. She left me. I'm utterly broken." In the midst of this emotional turmoil, the police took custody of Jessica's body and sent it for post-mortem. They also began investigating the crime scene and the possible perpetrators of theft and murder. The initial investigation revealed that the entire house was in disarray. Valuables were scattered, expensive items were broken, and every drawer and cupboard had been rummaged through. One critical finding was that Jessica Patel's iPhone was missing. Though the scene appeared to be a burglary, the police noticed something unusual. There were no signs of forced entry. This led them to believe that whoever committed the crime was someone Jessica knew and had willingly let inside the house. When the police questioned Nitesh, he explained, "Jessica returned from work around 7 p.m. After she came home, I went out to get pizza. I was only gone for about half an hour, and when I came back, I found Jessica lying here. This statement raised further questions. The police searched the house thoroughly and noted the missing items. Interestingly, Jessica's iPhone was found shortly after, discarded in a trash bin outside the house. To dig deeper, the police analyzed the data from Jessica's iPhone and Nitesh's phone. Both devices had the Health app active. According to Jessica's Health app, she had entered the house at 7:10 p.m., but no activity was recorded afterward, except for 14 steps logged a few minutes later. The next activity recorded was at 8:40 p.m. when the phone was picked up from the trash bin by a police officer. Meanwhile, the data from Nitesh's phone painted a different story. After 7:30 p.m., Nitesh's activity level spiked significantly for the next 10 minutes. He appeared to have moved around the house frantically, climbing stairs multiple times. Curiously, the data showed that he had gone to the upper floor of the house just before calling the emergency helpline. This raised suspicions. 3 days after Jessica's death, the police questioned Nitesh again and conducted another search of the house. During this search, they discovered the missing hard disk from the CCTV system hidden inside a suitcase filled with clothes. Additionally, the jewelry Nitesh had claimed was stolen was found inside another suitcase. When the hard disk was examined, it revealed that on the day of the incident, May 14, 2018, Jessica returned home from work around 7:10 p.m. Before she arrived, Nitesh was already present in the house. CCTV footage showed that around 7:40 p.m., Nitesh left the house and went to a nearby pizza store. The pizza store's CCTV footage confirmed that around 8 p.m., Nitesh was purchasing pizza. According to the CCTV, Nitesh re-entered the house around 8:20 p.m. and then called the emergency helpline number 999 at 8:22 p.m. Nitesh claimed that someone had broken into the house, looted it, and murdered Jessica. However, the recovery of the CCTV hard disk clarified that Nitesh was the last person present in the house. Further analysis of mobile data revealed that, at the time of Jessica's death, Nitesh was running around inside the house. All these findings strongly indicated that someone present inside the house had committed the crime. The police began questioning Nitesh Patel intensely, and the revelations that followed were chilling. According to Nitesh's statement, as soon as Jessica entered the house at 7:10 p.m., he, already prepared, injected a high dose of insulin into her arm. Then he placed a large plastic bag over her face. Jessica, caught off guard by the sudden attack, collapsed to the ground. The insulin overdose began taking effect, and Jessica gradually lost consciousness. Meanwhile, Nitesh wrapped the plastic bag tightly around her face, ensuring no air could enter. Deprived of oxygen, Jessica suffocated, and about 20 minutes later, she died. After confirming Jessica's death, Nitesh tied her hands and feet with a rope and covered her entire body with duct tape. He then began scattering items around the house to stage the scene as a robbery. After completing this, he took Jessica's mobile phone and disposed of it in a dustbin outside. He then calmly went out to buy pizza. Upon returning around 8:20 p.m., he went straight upstairs, realizing he had not yet hidden the CCTV hard disk. He concealed the hard disk in a suitcase filled with clothes. Finally, he called the emergency helpline. Following this, the police investigated the motive for the murder, uncovering even more shocking details. According to Nitesh, his love and subsequent marriage to Jessica, starting in 2008-09, were part of a premeditated plan. Nitesh, who was secretly gay, understood that his deeply religious family would never accept his sexual orientation. Exploiting Jessica's innocence and trust, he pretended to fall in love with her and married her. However, after the wedding, he never consummated their marriage. Jessica, unaware of the truth, tried her best to maintain the relationship, hoping that things would improve. Meanwhile, Nitesh sought male partners through dating apps. On one of these apps, he met Dr. Amit Patel, an Indian-origin doctor living in Britain. The two began a relationship and even engaged in physical intimacy multiple times. Nitesh became so infatuated with Amit that he started envisioning a future with him. Even after Amit moved to Australia in 2016, Nitesh's obsession didn't wane. He spent hours talking to Amit over the phone. Jessica eventually grew suspicious and confronted Nitesh, who initially denied everything. However, he later admitted the truth when CCTV footage captured him kissing another man near his pharmacy. Nitesh promised Jessica that he would never meet Amit again, and Jessica reluctantly believed him. Sometime later, Nitesh proposed having a child through IVF, in vitro fertilization. Jessica agreed, and while the first 3 attempts failed, the 4th was successful. Everyone was thrilled, but this happiness was short-lived. The very next day, Nitesh murdered Jessica. Nitesh's plan, devised with Dr. Amit Patel, was to kill Jessica after a successful IVF attempt, take the fertilized embryo, and move to Australia to live with Amit. They intended to have the child via surrogacy and get married there. Following the plan, Nitesh executed the murder and began preparing to leave for Australia. Nitesh had anticipated the need for money, so he made financial arrangements in advance. As per his plan, a few months before Jessica's murder, Nitesh arranged for Jessica to be insured for approximately 18 crores. His intention was to make her murder look like a robbery gone wrong, claim the insurance money, and flee to Australia with the fertilized embryos to join his partner, Amit. However, the police intervened before this could happen. Just 3 days after Jessica's murder, Nitesh was arrested on charges of her murder and tampering with evidence. Jessica's family was initially unable to believe the shocking truth revealed by the police. The evidence included data from the health app on Jessica and Nitesh's iPhones, which recorded movement inside the house at the time of Jessica's death. Additionally, investigators found the same duct tape at Nitesh's pharmacy that had been used to bind Jessica's body. The police also presented Nitesh's Google search history in court, which included queries about committing murder, claiming insurance money after a murder, and covering up a crime. The trial began in December 2018, 7 months after Jessica Patel's murder. It took only 2 hours and 50 minutes for the court to convict Nitesh Patel of Jessica's murder. The judge sentenced him to life imprisonment, specifying that he would serve at least 30 years in jail. The court classified this as an honor killing. Nitesh remains in prison, but his partner, Dr. Amit Patel, is free. Investigators found evidence of Amit's involvement, such as text messages exchanged between him and Nitesh just 10 days before the murder. On May 4, 2018, Nitesh texted Amit, "You know this plan. Do you think it will succeed?" To which Amit replied, "On the night before Jessica's murder, Amit and Nitesh had a 39-minute video call, followed by numerous text exchanges. The police documented 50 pages of text messages and presented them in court. Despite this, the court did not find sufficient evidence to convict Amit, and he was acquitted." How did you find this story? Share your thoughts in the comments box below. If you appreciate our effort, please like and share this video so others can learn about this horrifying case. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay updated on similar crime stories. We'll see you soon with another true crime tale. Thank you.